Awesome. Super cool to be here. Thanks for having us. We hope that you are tuning in from all over the place. People that couldn't make it here from all over the place get to actually see a bit of GDC, which is really cool. So I'm super pumped because today we did our keynote this morning. We spent an hour going through a whole bunch of cool stuff. I'm not going to do an hour, obviously. I'm just going to give you a couple little bits. So we're only up here for about 5-10 minutes, and what I'm going to do is actually show you two super cool tech previews. So none of the other stuff this morning, you can catch that online from our Autodesk area webpage if you want to do that. It's a public company, so I got to put this up here. What I'm about to show you is all future-looking stuff. Don't base your product decisions based on that. But from a technology preview, what I'm going to show you is two super neat things. So first off, I'll show you this. All right. What is an eyebrow, an ocean wave? I'm going to say that's a donkey lip and wing. What does that all have in common? Wires, of course. Everyone got that one. You should see all the people around here. They all knew the answer. Traditionally, wires have been super slow, and they're very useful. You can draw a curve and bend stuff, but we would not use them that often, right? Well, I'm proud to say the team's been working really hard, and in our beta right now, you can see it's roughly up to a 14 times speed improvement. But in this scenario, for instance, drawing a wire along an ocean and bending it, you wouldn't even almost think of doing it. Now in our beta, you can get up to 120 frames a second with this example. So super cool stuff. It also is, not only is it 14 times faster, but it drops into all your old scenes. So if you had an old scene that used wires, now that's better. Okay, so a lot of people watching this aren't riggers, and they're not like loving it. We had a couple people in the room this morning that were. So this one is for all the animators out there, and this is why we're here, because I'm super, super pumped about this one. So, honest truth though, all the animators in the room know that we've got a problem, right? It's a pretty serious problem. It's deep in your heart. You get the fact that this is happening. Yeah, it's true. Play best, not cool, right? So when we went out and measured people, we went to a bunch of different studios, and we found that on average, an animator will usually work for about 5 minutes and then play blast for 2 minutes. And it's not always 2 minutes of play blast. Like obviously you'll bounce to Facebook or something and context shift, and unless you're actually working at Facebook, it's not really a good thing. So what we decided was when you do the fancy math behind that 2 minutes, it doesn't sound that bad, actually adds up to about 2 hours a day. And that's crazy. So we said, what if we could make Maya faster, right? And so why do people do this? Well, of course, Maya's slow. So the solution today was basically you can simplify your rigs, you can make your scene smaller or simpler, you can reference. There's all these different things to do, but at the end of the day, really what we should have done and what we want to do is what if you could just sit there and just hit play? Right? What if Maya was that fast? So you didn't have to play blast anymore, and not only that, but you could actually tumble around your scene and see it from all different angles, and it just keeps working, right? So that's why I'm super excited to say that we're announcing today cached playback, right? And what that is basically this. So you can see on the left, that's Maya 2014. In the middle, we've done a bunch of work over the last few years to make Maya parallel, and it's obviously, you can see in these examples, about a 5 times improvement. It's better, but on the right is what I'm really excited for the team's been working quietly in the last couple of years on, is what we're calling cached playback. And so you can see that, from 2014 to today, we're almost the gauntlet of a 10 times speed improvement. And really what we want to do is get to a point where you don't have to play blast. You just have a consistent fast frame rate, and you can keep working. And you can look at your attack or your whatever animation you're doing from all the different angles, and it's just good. And so how it works, as you can see here, is that blue bar fills up, and that's your cache. And then once it's full, you're good. It's going to hold the frame rate, and often it'll be faster frame rate than you even need. And so the big goal for us was to make this work in the background. So if I move my elbow, it should allow me to move my elbow, not get in the way, but then also just calculate what I changed versus everything. And so at that point, we can keep the cache full, right? And so as you can see in this example, she's working along, animating, moving the cog, moving an arm, and it's just always good. I can just hit play, never leave Maya anymore, and just keep working. So sorry, no more long coffee breaks every little bit. You're going to have to keep working. there's a couple of caveats I should mention because it's important. So I like this analogy because I come from the country. I'm a simple guy, but if you think of the cache as a bucket, so once that bucket's full, you're good. The problem is you still need to fill the bucket, right? And so traditionally, when Maya was single-threaded, you had one hose basically filling this bucket, and that could take a while. And so what we've worked on in the past few years and what you have already in the software is, again, that parallel evaluation. So it's super critical that you're making sure that your rigs are parallel friendly and working quickly, because that affects the fill rate of your cache. Once the cache is full, you're good. And that also leads to, I don't sell RAM, I don't sell graphics cards, but it is dependent on your hardware. So if you've got really decent hardware, you're going to have better results. It's also dependent on your scene. So if you chuck in 1,000 zombies into it, it's going to choke at some point. But because it's a tech preview, I'm sure our lawyers probably want about 18 other bullet points on here. But again, there's some caveats there. But the real reason we're here isn't just to show off something cool and walk away. We want all of you to actually tune in, grab a copy of this and try it out. Because I want to make sure that when we ship this, that it has been tested by as many people as we can with a variety of different production rigs. And so if you go right now, you can actually find this already, but if you go onto our area webpage around GDC, you'll find a link that will help you request access to register for and sort of our private beta. And definitely want a lot of different people in there and trying it from different settings, because when we ship this, we want to make sure that it's as good as it can be and that it works in a variety of different scenarios. And so not only are we asking people to log in and do that, but we've actively gone out and partnered with different companies. So I wanted to show you here, for instance, EA Dice was playing with it, and they're throwing their legit production rigs that they use. A lot of mocap, a lot of cool stuff going in, and they were super excited. We visited them in Sweden and then kept on doing our Europe tour. And before I even got back, they're already pinging me because they're getting 190 frames a second. They're like, okay, this is actually legit. Like, we want to work with you on it. So again, please go and sign up and tell all your buddies, because we want to make sure that this is super good. So that's it. We just want to make sure that everyone was aware. And like I said, I'm super happy because my wife's an animator, so if I can save her 2 hours a day, can't hurt, right? So thanks, everyone. Oh, questions, of course. Twitch, I'm not used to this. So people can actually ask questions. Awesome. Epic Shepherd. Love that name. Who's Epic Shepherd? Call out to you, buddy. How does cache playback work with dense environment geometry or very long scenes? So the cool thing about what we're showing is that it scales super well. So again, it's a beta, and I don't want to overpromise things, but it should handle certainly handles long scenes, your animation, etc. But dense environment geometry is unrelated to what we're doing here. So we're actually calculating the DG graph, doing that math, and once we have that solution, saving it off so that we can access it quickly. So a geometry scenario in that sense should be okay either way. So it's a bit of a tricky word. When we call it cache, we're really going back and forth on it, because it's true, it is caching stuff, but there's also a lot of different other caches, like geometry cache, alembic cache, etc. that people use. So good question. And a bag of candy. Man, I really got to work on my username, because my username, not cool. A bag of candy says, does this work on older computers, or is it stable across multiple setups? So yeah, it should work. I mean, obviously you're going to use the latest beta and the latest software, but the hardware should work no matter what. I've tried it on this Surface, which is just a travel laptop that I bring around, and it runs. It's cool. Obviously, the better your RAM, the better your graphics card, you're going to get better results for sure. Awesome. So again, hit us up, and if you leave with nothing else, we want to make sure that we're talking to people and reaching out. So for sure, I want to hear from you. Thanks.
I'm live. Hi, I'm all alone. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm pretty sure that TJ is going to join us, but if not, I might just do some interpretive dance. My mom is watching. Hi, Mom. And my nephew, Jason. Hi. I'll try not to curse, and because I don't want your mom to get mad at me and my mom to get mad at me, and that'd be pretty bad. I'm just rambling now. I hope this is good content. Hi, everyone. Oh, look, the chat's back up. Now I can see everyone. Hey, ask me a question while I wait for TJ to come on over here. Lift the chair above my head. I just got a look from one of the guys who works here, and I don't think I'll be lifting a chair above my head. He looked at me really. He looked very angry at me. I am not wearing a kilt. I am wearing, I don't know what they call this. Madras? Plaid? I'm not sure. I have no idea. My wife dresses me. Hi, honey. She might be watching. I have no idea. She might be at work. Why is Tim by his lonesome? Well, because TJ is walking on over right now, and he's going to do a 16... What does that even mean? No, I can't. You want to see both knees. No, I only have one leg. Third, hurry up, TJ. For the love of God.
Go, man. Great. Let's just chill out
Hi.
and see how you do.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna just sit here, and he's not even gonna bother. And is that Joel from The Last of Us? Yes, it is. It is. Can I do the churn? I don't. What is that? Do you know what that is?
Churn. No, dude.
Is TJ okay? He seemed nervous. TJ, how you doing, buddy? Hi, TJ Galda from Autodesk. How are you?
Tim was sitting over here the entire time giving me the angry eyes. So
I was staring
feeling the
daggers
lasers.
into the back of his head. All I want is for layers to go fast, faster with my heavy rigs.
Me
the
too.
rigs that I didn't really make efficient.
100%.
What's under there? Oh my God, I don't want to know what that means. I'm old. I don't understand any of these references. Do you? I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, hi. Thank you for that presentation.
Thank you, sir.
I think people are very excited. I was told I need to join the beta, so I'm probably going to get on the beta
Well, that's the goal, right?
at some point.
Yeah.
So that'll be great.
Oh, I'm sorry. We want good animators to try it.
Oh, well, I'm out. This is my fault. I criticize TJ's company all the time on Twitter,
true.
and he gets angry at me, and
No.
that's so we both work out a lot so that we're gonna fight one day.
Yes.
And it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna
gonna
be
be
like
good.
Rampage. It's gonna be like in downtown San Francisco. We don't need these. Look how many buildings are out there. We don't need all those. So we're just gonna like kind of redo the layout of downtown San Francisco by just beating the crap out of each other.
I'm going to pull that sled further and faster.
There, yeah, and he's gonna pull a sled, and I'm just gonna sit on the sled, and I'm gonna eat pizza,
Donuts.
pizza rolls, and donuts the size of my head. It's gonna be great. Let's see. Are birds are better? So obviously, what is? Oh, there's horse-sized ducks. Okay, I think I missed that. All right. So hi, TJ. Let's get into our questions.
You actually have some legit questions.
Yeah, let's
or-
do some real legit
Yes.
questions here. Hi,
Mm,
hey
yes,
everybody.
hi.
We're professionals.
Yep.
What inspired you to get into animation?
Oh, Jesus. So I started long time ago. I'm not going to date myself, but decade and a half. I actually wanted to be a doctor, so I was in pre-med.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and at some point I discovered that if you want to do medicine, you actually have to really love it. So then I sort of coursed around and tried a bunch of different things. I was going to be a cop and do a bunch of things. And eventually one day I saw a friend of mine who was actually working on films, and he got paid to do it. I was like, and that's literally what set me on the course. It was pretty cool.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Then you mentioned that your wife's an animator.
She is.
So like does she ever give you any grief about like Maya? Like, if it crashes, does she just call you and be like,
Oh.
dude,
The-
what happened?
The best is getting like random emails. It's just a meme of like, yeah, so Maya crashed again.
Oh, that's
But,
amazing.
yeah, no, it's a healthy relationship for sure.
Yeah.
But it's cool because honestly, she gets to see some of the stuff that we're working on early, and she just comes home wishing she had it at work, kind of thing. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. So what do you hope to accomplish with your work? We've been talking to a lot of animators. A lot of the people I've talked to are animating every day. They have performances. They want to, they want people to identify with their characters and connect and everything.
Yeah.
I spoke with Alexis Kwong a little while ago. He's, the product owner of Ant at EA. So,
Yeah.
he wants to empower his team
Yeah.
to, be able to make the best work possible. So you are obviously on even a much broader scale, affecting how we do our work. So what is your goal? What do you hope to accomplish?
Yeah, for me, it's I joined Autodesk about 3 years ago, and really the goal for us was to sort of clean up the foundations of what we could help as much as we could. So we started looking at the different things. So we spent a bunch of time on UVs, for instance, because we realized that modelers spend half their day doing that. And we're really focusing on animation here as the same deal, because it's like there's a bunch of workflows that we haven't really touched in 20 years or however long you've been messing with Salty to Seal, if anyone remembers him, right? So,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
That's how old we are.
Yeah.
But really, honestly, the answer to your question, we just want to be people who will work faster, right? Because the games are, whether you're working games or film even, but games specifically are getting huge and big. Like when I joined the EA 10 years ago, you got a team of 50, and that was a big team, right? Teams today are over 1,000.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Ubisoft, and they distribute the development over multiple studios.
Well,
I can't even imagine.
Assassin's Creed was 1,000 people, right? GTA, Grand Theft Auto, 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Even EA Battlefield Hardline, the old cop versus robber game, which is sort of the smaller Battlefield, was 1,000 people.
Wow.
Right, and so if you look at the scale, it's almost logarithmic how many people are jumping in there. So anything that people are spending a bunch of time on, if we can get rid of, like dumb stuff like the play blast, that is just literally you're just waiting for you to see your work. If we can fix that, I mean, everyone gets to go home earlier. It's great. Yeah.
In theory, or we just get asked to do more work.
Well, or better work.
Yeah, right? Or better. Yeah, better work. I'm gonna go with better
Honestly,
work.
my goal is to get games not to have to be pre-ordered.
Yeah.
And wait and delayed and.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and you wind up seeing like on the internet that guy who had the Duke Nukem Forever the receipt from like 20 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, thank you for your work and trying to make our lives easier. I mean, I appreciate it, even though I do give you a lot of grief on Twitter. But that's my stage persona.
Yeah.
I'm much nicer in person.
No, but we
swear.
should honestly say, like, if you guys want to get in touch with us and let us know what to fix, like, we're definitely listening for sure.
Nice.
We may struggle in different formats, and if you're hitting the forum and not getting something, or hitting Twitter or whatever, just keep reaching out because I want to hear from you for sure.
Awesome. So you obviously you're around. Your wife's an animator. You I assume you play games as much as you can as well.
Yeah.
What's your favorite bit of game animation? Like, what's the thing? Like, you think about games and you think about animation in games. Like, what is the right there? What is it?
I worked on Fight Night Champion. I don't know if you played that game, but we put a boxing film into the game, and so we put like literally, I think it was 60 minutes by the time we shipped it, or maybe 90 minutes. I don't know, somewhere like that. But let's say half a boxing film, but we literally jammed that in and made it seamless, right? So you'd see the cinematic would be playing, and then all of a sudden you're fighting, right?
Nice.
So that's pretty cool stuff, and a lot of games are starting to do that, which is awesome. Because to me, it's like if I'm skipping the cinematic because I'm bored, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Right. You want to have something that engages you as well. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nice. Yeah. Well, it sounds like they're ready to go. So TJ,
awesome.
Thank you so much. And up next is Eric. Oh my God, I forgot. It's Eric Medina, who is going to do a playthrough of Mark of Cree, which is like, I don't know, I think everybody in this room's probably like favorite animation game from back in the day. Thanks. Bye.